Hello all you amazing people, it is Riley LH here again, and we are here with the pretty little Miata. And we got a fancy new oil cooler kit. I have an aftermarket aluminum radiator. The whole car stays super cool, but the oil still gets hot. So I went out and I got a pretty thick oil cooler, and we're gonna be front mounting the oil cooler. Most people mount it down at the steering rack and stuff, but since this is a drift car, I don't know what tracks it's going to be going to. It's probably going to go off a couple times. It's going to be chucking rubber and dirt and rocks and all of that at it, and I really don't want to go over a tire, get a tire stuck under the car, and then rip up the oil cooler. So I'm going to be front mounting it. I think that will be the best bet for it to stay safe and get good cooling. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start getting it on the car, figuring out where we're gonna put it. So my plans are to take these brackets and mount them up right here. I'm gonna have to bend that back straight. I'm gonna mount them up right there and then attach the oil cooler to that. And that should be about perfect mounting location. So we have both brackets about straight. So now let's go ahead and take our little Lowe's hardware and start test fitting this. So I got the oil cooler tightened up, and it's a lot sturdier, and I'm almost happy with it. What I'm gonna do is, it's gonna be hard to show you guys, but there's another bracket right there, and I'm gonna get another one of these brackets that's a bit longer, so I can go from up here to over here to make sure this metal isn't moving at all, because that metal's moving, causing the whole thing to wobble. And then I'm gonna find another area to mount it to also, so I can make sure this oil cooler isn't gonna go anywhere. But I might as well go ahead and mock up the oil lines, so I'm gonna go ahead and install those. So I got the oil cooler lines ran over here, up through here. One of these oil cooler lines is gonna have to be cut and shortened because it is way too long, but that will be saved for another day. I'm not doing that right now. I'm still gonna wait until I get another mounting bracket before I do any cutting to make sure this is the permanent spot. Okay, so yesterday I went to Lowe's and I got 3 more of these brackets and stuff, and I got some more hardware. I already marked out where I got a drill for these so I can make these fit under here so we can sturdy up this oil cooler a bit. And before I cut these lines, I think I'm gonna try flipping the oil cooler the other way. Actually, no, I'm just gonna leave it as is. And I'm gonna go make some support brackets for that so it'll be a lot stronger so we're not wobbling all around. As you can see, I drilled that hole out. And let's see if it will fit. It should fit straight up, and that should reinforce it quite a bit. Okay, so just slide on there, and it slides on there too. Oh, that's perfect. So we're gonna go take those bolts out, mount that up. So I actually didn't end up installing these 2 brackets and stuff, but I did put a nut and bolt through there. So now we have 3 tabs, 3 nuts and bolts holding it on just on the car. So this thing is plenty sturdy now. And Honestly, it would have taken a lot more work to get these to mount up, when it wouldn't have done too much for the support of it. So if I do ever end up needing it, I will add it, but that's what the supports look like. Turned out pretty good for just being Lowe's hardware and a cheap oil cooler kit. So now, time to go and fully route these oil cooler lines and figure out how long they're gonna be, and then I'll just add a zip tie to them, and then go, so I know how exactly long it needs to be. Okay, so we got the oil draining on the Miata now. Once that's drained, we're gonna go and take out that oil filter also, and then we're gonna take off that bracket. And then we'll be ready to go and set up the stuff for the oil cooler lines. Whilst I'm down here, I am gonna tighten these and stuff in a second. Just to make sure those are tight and I don't forget about that. And that clears up a lot of space in there. So now, even just doing something like a oil filter is a lot easier. And you get a lot more room at the alternator also. Just way easier. If I notice anything and I need to put that support back in, I will. But for now, I'm gonna run it no support. She should be good. You can see that block in there. That's how we have it positioned to have it threaded in. And the oil filter will thread onto that now, which will make it stick out a little bit more too. So we're gonna snug this up with her socket and make sure she's good. Put the oil filter on and stuff, and then start test fitting the lines. Now let's just cut the lines. So I have it traced out where I need to cut. I need to cut here and here, but first I'm gonna take these off. So let's go get some wrenches, take these off, grab out the angle grinder and cut them. So I got both the fittings as tight as I could get them on. So now it's time to put them back in the car. Okay, so now we got both oil lines in and threaded on. I'm just gonna tighten them up a little bit, and then we'll go up and put the block back on so we can get the oil filter on and the lines on. So now that we already got some oil in the system, perfect time to check the lines for leaking. No leaks or anything, so we should be ready to go. We got that all snugged up. Now time to just line up the lines, thread them on as best as possible, snug those up as well, and then put oil in the car, drop her back down, and she's ready to go. So I got all the oil lines squared away and zip tied. They're not gonna be going anywhere. They should be pretty dang good. This oil cooler is looking pretty good. It's pretty strong, and it should do its job quite well. Okay, the car should be full of oil now. Gotta prime up. My oil pressure, oh, there we go. Whew. That's like I have 0 oil pressure. Okay, we're gonna let it run for a second, and then we're gonna cut it back off. So then we can check the oil again, because it would have run oil through the filter. First, let's check everything, make sure there's no leaks. Okay, no leaks down there. And no leaks up front. So we do seem to be good when it comes to leaks and stuff. We have no leaks or anything. Motor sounds good. Gonna cut it back off. Wait a minute, and then we're gonna check the oil again. Okay, so the car was a bit low in oil because I had about 4 quarts in there because I don't want to overfill it, but I added about another quart because it was quite low, and that was perfect. So 5 quarts fills the whole system up perfectly. So let's start her up, make sure everything's running properly. Oh, awesome. She sounds beautiful. Oh, she's actually running amazing. Oh, okay. So it has now been several weeks with the oil cooler set up, and it's held up great. The mount's sturdy. There's no oil leaks, and there's only one major problem, and that was an oil leak problem coming from the block. But it was just a fault on my end. I didn't put Teflon tape on where you can put a temperature sensor and a oil pressure sensor, so that was completely my fault. If you take a look down here at the block, you can see how it's all set up. Honestly, it does work really great, and ever since I fixed those 2 oil leaks, it hasn't had a problem. So far, I've had no issues with it. I haven't gotten to drive on it hard with the oil cooler setup, but I will be doing that soon. I have a track day coming up the 24th of this month, so we'll really be able to put it to the test. So I can't be 100% certain how strong this kit is until I do track day it, but I hope it does all work well. And as always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you guys all next time. Peace out.